Roxo Media House.
Uday Miller, 3, Emmanuel Miller, good.
State of the Frogs here with Coach Jamie Dixon. I'm your host, Bingo Merriex. We're going to talk some TCU hoops, getting ready for the game coming up against Baylor. But before we do that, we want to just talk about the previous two games. We want to talk about Iowa State a little bit. It was a heartbreaking loss. 1-point loss. The team, has some things to maybe go wrong in the first half, but it was a good learning situation in going into Oklahoma State as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got off to a bad start. No other way to put it. Home game, everybody excited, to a great crowd, and the students were back for the first time. So we just didn't get it done. I don't know why. I mean, we had good practices going into it, but we obviously turned the ball over, got off to a slow start, and dug a hole for us. Obviously, cut back out, get it down, and but it was too late, and so turnovers hurt us. Rebounding numbers were good for us, but we gave out some transition baskets because of the turnovers. So we know that. We know it's something we've been battling all year long to be amongst the best, and we were really keeping our turnovers low, but we didn't get it done, and give Ohio State some credit. But that propelled us. It got us ready. And then, of course, Oklahoma State, we go on the road, and we cut down turnovers, take care of the ball, and limit their transition baskets.
And you talk about transition baskets in the second half against Iowa State. You did a much better job in defense, and the transition game for you guys was much better.
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, if you get stops, you get steals, you go the other way. So, there's no secret to it. I mean, we got to handle things better every game. But, everybody says that. No one's undefeated. We didn't play well, and we got what we deserve. So you get ready. You turn around, quick turnaround for us, and we took care of business in Oklahoma State.
And talking about Oklahoma State and starting that game, they started out 22-8. Was the team a little bit stagnant maybe coming on the road?
I don't know. We missed some shots, and we weren't good enough defensively. So they made shots. We gave up some layups, and we have to be better. I mean, if we're going to be what we want to say we want to be, and we've got to defend better. We know that. Our numbers are good, but they're not elite as far as defense, and we're forcing some turnovers, yes, but too many layups. And with too many fouls, and we've cut down on those things. But we're playing in the best conference with the best teams, and so if you take if you're a step behind, you're going to pay.
Yeah, and talking about the numbers a little bit, the team did a great job in the second half overall in the game, plus 10 on the rebounding war. Also had 52% for the game and field goal percentage, but 65% in the second half. So you really dominated in the second half.
Yeah, no, the execution in the second half was tremendous. We had an opportunity to, I didn't get away. We missed free throws down the stretch. There could have been a bigger deficit, but those are the things you got to do. What I was excited about was our execution, the plays. We call us sets down that stretch. We got the ball where we wanted to who we wanted to get it to, and they made the play out of it. Whether it be a pass out, whether it be a get to the foul line, we did those things. So it was good to see. You're going to be in plenty of games like that. As I tell our guys, 4 of our first 5 were one possession games. So I told them that this summer too. So I kind of got one thing right on that, but that's what you have to value every possession. Defensively, we're trying to create that mentality. We're not there yet, but we're going to spend every day trying to get to that where stops and everybody being on the same page, following our rules defensively, will make us the team we want to be.
Yeah, and being the team that you want to be, Coach, we talk about in the Iowa State game, you had 27 turnovers, but in the Oklahoma State game, you only had 9. And I think that contributes also to how Avery Anderson III is becoming more of a floor general for the team.
Well, I mean, it's both guys. It's Jameer and Avery, and Trey being out there is huge for us. But, yeah, we know, our goal is 10 or less, which is a rather hard goal to attain, but that's what we want to do. And so certainly getting 9 is a really good job. But, yeah, we've made it very clear our 2 new guys are our 2 guards. Trey has really exceeded expectations, Trey Tennyson, and he's become really one of our best players.
Right.
I mean, defensively, he's solid. He's where he's supposed to be, and obviously shooting the ball well. Plays, moves well without the ball, space the floor. Jameer and Avery got to keep getting better, and they have, and we're going to continue to improve as they improve.
That's good. Okay, man, we're here on State of the Frogs. When we come back, we'll have a question for Coach Dixon from one of our students.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
State of Frogs continue with Coach Jamie Dixon, brought to you by Autobahn Porsche. We have the student question from May.
Hi, I'm May. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm a freshman ballet major. Hey, Coach Dixon, where's your favorite place to eat in Fort Worth?
Well, that's an interesting question. You know, we oftentimes I don't have a lot to say in the restaurants I go out to. It's recruits. We go to the restaurants, what they like. My wife, what she likes, is generally it. If there's ever a time where I'm going to a place, I'm looking for close and quick and good food. And Charleston's is the place that I go to that has been great, and the service is great, and I like the food there. So, but generally, it's not my decision where I go to eat.
Okay, so in Charleston's is a good restaurant. I like that, but I went there on my recruiting trip. It was a really good place. Do you have a favorite dish or a dish that you like also there?
Well, I eat a lot more seafood now than when I was a kid. Let's be sure about that. So generally, it's whatever the fish of the day, the catch of the day, it tends to be with some kind of rice pilaf or so. So I keep it simple, and generally I'll just take what they give me. Okay.
Do you happen to know the owner? Does the owner come to the games as well too? Maybe.
We have a good relationship over there at TCU does, and they've been big supporters of TCU over the years. So, and the coaches, all the different sports. So, they've been great, and can't beat the location.
Right. So you heard it from Coach. Go to Charleston's if you ever visit Fort Worth. So we'll be back. We'll visit with Avery Anderson III and talk to him a little bit when State of the Frogs continue. I'm your host, Bingo Merriex.
We're lucky to have a collective that's as strong and as powerful as the Flying T Club. It's a big deal for us. It is a game changer. You know, I would just encourage any fans out there to support it. Everyone asks me, what's the biggest priority? And I say, NIL is big. Please jump on board, show these student athletes how much they mean to you. The thing about NIL is I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and the Flying T Clubs do it the right way. Let's keep winning. Join the Flying T Club today.
Back here on State of the Frogs, I'm your host, Bingo Merriex. We're here with one of my favorite players, Avery Anderson III. We also would like to thank May for that student question. You know, I'm kind of hungry now. I think I might want to go to Charleston's a little bit. But Avery, thank you for being with us.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah. We want to talk to you a little bit. Let's just talk about your transition in coming to TCU. And, you know, you've been known in the Big 12, and you've been around the Big 12 a lot. But what was your biggest adjustment coming to TCU?
Really just a different type of playing style. You know, coming from Oak State, we play kind of a slow kind of pace, just setting up the offense and just coming in, looking at a lot of film with Mike Rice, just trying to get into that flow in the transition offense. So just flowing into that was a big transition.
So flowing into the transition and everything, you've done a great job. You've seen over the games your progression of leading the team as also the point guard Hall of Famer Corey Santee's helped you out a lot with that?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Santee got a real good relationship. You know, I go in his office after almost every game and watch film and just take his knowledge and what he see on the floor that I could do. So just really building that relationship with him.
Okay. So in talking about Oklahoma State, just coming off a big win against them, how was that feeling going back home to your former team, you know, seeing familiar faces? How does that feel to get a win?
It felt good, you know, just all the love that was shown when I was there. It just was a great feeling, you know. Playing most of my career over there, so it was love being back in the gym, playing against some former teammates. Just love competing against them guys, so it was love.
All right, so coming up, Baylor, you're going to play them on Saturday. What can you expect, or what do you look for in Baylor in going into that matchup?
What they're going to get is a hungry team from us, because taking them 2 hard losses that we had to Cincinnati and Iowa State, we really learned from that. And so playing in the Oak State game, we really got back to what we was doing in our wins that we was getting, and that was playing defense. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we're going to do something crazy now.
Do something good with that. So you talk about the Iowa State loss, and what do you think that you learned the most personally from that loss there?
That I won't play a good game every game. You know, I played terrible the Iowa State game and Cincinnati game with the turnovers, and I've really been good with keeping my turnovers down. So decision making was something I had to really go back and watch a lot of film over to see what I was doing and making the wrong plays.
Yeah. Well, you talk about your plays, but you did a great job in Oklahoma State in being the floor general, spacing the floor out, getting everybody involved, knocking down open shots. So you can see your improvement is still growing.
Yes, sir. Sure. You know, that's all I want to do is just get better every game. I'm probably not going to play a perfect game, but I want to be close to perfect as I can.
Okay, well, we thank you for taking the time out with us.
Appreciate
this
you
has been
me.
State of the Frogs, and when we return, we'll talk to Coach Dixon, and we'll talk about Baylor and that preview and what he expects coming up as State of the Frogs continue. I've been your host, Bingo Merriex, and it's been presented by our friends from Autobahn Porsche.
Simply the best barbecue in Fort Worth. Dine in, catering, or drive-through. 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse.
State of the Frogs continue. I'm your host, Bingo Merriex, alongside Coach Jamie Dixon, presented by our friends Autobahn Porsche. We're going to talk about Baylor, looking for the preview against that Saturday. Tough team, ranked number 15th in the nation. Of course, you know, this is the Big 12 play. What can we look for in this game against Baylor?
Yeah, I was looking at the computer rankings. We're right there, kind of comparable as far as what they do is shoot the ball well from three. And when they're good, that's what they do, make threes. And so, last game against Oklahoma State, we gave up too many. That was our weakness. It's been an emphasis of ours all year. We've been pretty good at it, but we've got to take away the three from them. They're changed defenses a little bit, so we'll see some different ball screen coverages, throw in a little bit of zone. Kind of a matchup zone. So nothing too different than what Baylor's done year after year. We split with them last year. We were undermanned the game at our place. But you got to play, and we got to play better when guys are down. But we can't give them any transition, as we say, and that usually comes from taking care of the basketball. So that is a big priority for us always. And we know when we're offensive, it's good to get shots up because we're such a good offensive rebounding team.
Right.
At the same time, live ball turnovers are what going to kill you.
Yeah, and TCU is leading Big 12 in offensive rebounding. But as we're talking about Baylor, Jacoby Walter and Ray Dennison is going to be key as far as containing ball.
Yeah, McDonald's All-American, and everybody knows how good Jacoby was, and he can score. He's a 6'5" wing, highly skilled, athletic. Dennis is the transfer that everybody wanted. He waited till late to make his decision, looked around, took a lot of trips. But he's a pass-first point guard. I love those guys. Yeah. Can really get off the ball. He's good in ball screens, pick and roll, and finding the open guy. So they've got a very experienced team with Walters being the freshman that can really explode and go get buckets. So we got to be prepared for him.
Okay, well, we wish you the best and look forward for that game on ESPN2 on Saturday. Tip-off is at 3 p.m. This has been State of the Frogs with our coach, Jamie Dixon, and we would like to also give a special shout out to the women's basketball team. They previously just got a win, and so they're keeping going in their Big 12 play. And this has been State of the Frogs presented by our friends at Autobahn Porsche. I've been your host, Bingo Merriex.
Roxo Media House.